What's up, everybody? This is Steve Stilacci. Today is a very exciting day. My VP4 came from Fractal. This video that I did about the leak of this, like the teaser, I don't know if it was technically a leak, definitely teaser in nature, I will say, because it actually came from Fractal. First day buyer, bought it right away, and I really want to check this out. I'm actually really excited about this. There's a lot of controversy kind of about this where people are unhappy with Fractal coming out with this. They wanted something else. But for me, I've already got something like this, the NANO CORTEX. I love Fractal's effects, the delays, the LFOs, all the cool modulation effects. Really my favorite delays, reverbs, and modulation effects. So I'm really excited about this. I get overwhelmed with the Fractal amps. That's not a knock on them. It's just they're so in detail and so many options that I get a little bit too paralyzed, which is why I actually love the NANO CORTEX. The NANO CORTEX, I just have my 4 favorite sounds in, and that's it. I'm done. But this isn't great enough to be a standalone, but combining this with the VP4 seems like a match made in heaven. So let's do it. I'm using this brand new knife that I got from Malaysia. We just did a week of outreach shows or clinics and all that stuff over there, and I bought this handmade sheath, handmade handle. I'm such a child when it comes to knives. Kind of stealing the idea from John Cordy here, where he uses a gigantic, obnoxious knife to do his unboxings. Hey, John. Also got a commitment from John to be on the podcast if anybody was looking forward to that. I do run a podcast called the Sound Stage Podcast. You can find links to it below if you're into digital amp modeling, all that stuff. For you Fractal people, I just had Leon Todd on. He's my next episode that's going to be airing soon. All right, first things up, box in a box. I've got to use my knife twice. I see why you do this, John. The big knives really cut through. Nice. Okay. Okay, we're gonna want this quick start guide. Okay, we'll want that. Yeah, there it is. Comes with a 9-volt supply, but I'm glad that it's a 9-volt and not an IEC cable, because this is something that's supposed to be fitted right on your pedal board. Oh wow, and even a Ziploc. Okay, here it is. We have stereo inputs, stereo outputs, expression pedal. Real simple. It can do MIDI, it can do SPDIF, 9-volt, 1.3 amps. And I'm excited about this because I feel like it's more simple. This is a way simpler design than Fractal's typically doing. And I think these two together can be a pretty ridiculous rig. Cool, so I'm gonna go get this wired up. Couple of housekeeping things here. This video is being brought to you by Sweetwater and X-Vive. The way I'm hooking it up, I'm using this X-Vive A58. This is their newest Wi-Fi 5.8G Wi-Fi transmitter and receiver. So I've got it here in my ES345. So not having to deal with cables when you're doing stuff like this is so much easier, especially when I'm in a small studio already and having a cable on the floor is always a pain in the neck. And also, they sent out this guitar stand that's here. I know guitar stands aren't so sexy, but this is one of them fold-up ones, so it folds up real nice. And it actually comes with a bag, so you can put this in a bag, put this into your gig bag, and carry it really conveniently. This is one of the more solid stands, probably the best fold-up stand that I've encountered. Really solid stand. I mean, I'm putting my vintage Gibson ES345 on this, and I'm not really hesitant about it at all. It's got 2 slots in it. The slot back here for electric guitars and the slot up here for acoustic guitars. So yeah, thanks to Sweetwater and X-Vive for sponsoring the video. Let's plug it in and get going. All right, so we're all hooked up here in the studio, and I wanted to kind of do a little side-by-side comparing here with, I've got my H90, I've got my HX effects. So obviously H90 is going to be the smallest of the bunch. So if size is your #1 factor, obviously H90 is smaller, but H90 only does 2 algorithms at once and doesn't do 4. Fractal has a beat, I think, in terms of that. And for the price, This is actually a little bit more expensive than the VP4. At this point, I don't know, price has changed over time since I've got mine. And then HX Effects. People say that these aren't directly in comparison with one another, but I don't see how they're not. HX Effects has 6-foot switches. It's got scenes, well, it's got snapshots, just like this has scenes. It's got presets. I don't think it does spill over. I'm not like avid HX Effectser because I usually use my Stomp XL, but they both have tons of effects. I think that the Fractal stuff is more in-depth effects. Like this stuff their effects are just really, really great. But for the size, I don't know if HX Effects still might be a better buy, because HX Effects you get for like dirt cheap now, but you also need the extra adapter cables for this. But it does have effects loops in it, stereo in, stereo out, and having sends and returns also gives it more points. So I guess I don't think that the VP is like overpriced, but I just think that the HX Effects still punches well above its weight for what it is and what it does, because it's just between Line 6 and Fractal, but Line 6 really has this stuff well thought out and really affordable. So the HX Effects is really a great option. Yeah, let's get to why we are here. Activate my X-Vive, just be cableless, so life is good. Again, I'm going through the NANO CORTEX. So basic navigation on this has been really easy. I really can't complain about using this. It's way easier as Fractal, is way easier than Fractal stuff. And it even has, basically all I did here, I read this card. It comes with these really well thought out printed sheets. There's a section here that says Gear Nerd or Expert Tweaker. You can hit, when you're editing a block, you can hit this page left and right and go into these more advanced parameters. So if you're like me and you don't really care about this stuff, like I don't need all of this stuff at all. So I'm just going to keep it off, and then it's going to have minimal parameters, which is really, really nice, especially because the Fractal ecosystem is pretty intimidating with the amount of parameters per effect. You have so much tweakability, which is great, but sometimes it's a little bit overwhelming. Easy access to all your layouts. So you hit these two at the same time. You have preset, scenes, effects. Effects takes you to, obviously here, you could switch to scenes, and you'll have different presets within your preset. And then you have preset, which is going to just, oh, did I freeze up? Well, there you go. Live on camera. I just froze. This preset's only at 64% CPU, and this just froze up for me doing that. So let's turn it off and on. So we're going to power cycle this. While we're here, I'll give you this. Do you leave this on? I always take these off. People leave these on for like years, and that always bothers me. Okay, so we're here again. And we are going to go to scene. We can go to preset. And I can just switch between these four. And life is good navigating. If I want to adjust anything, or I want to go to the presets here, I got this knob. When it says preset here, I can scroll through, and these are all the presets. So a typical Fractal, everything that's in here is pretty good. I haven't really found any bad stuff. So like this is Neil Sean's actual touring post effects. I'm going to hit enter, and I'm going to go here. Then I can rotate the scenes knob, and I can see my 4 scenes. So all in, chorus, pitch mod, whatever it is. I don't really see this as a scenes device. I see this as more of a stomp box device. So I would keep it on effects mode. So here's that Neil Sean sound. I'm on a clean sound, my clean capture from the NANO CORTEX. So now, because I'm in effects mode, I can't scroll through presets, which I guess makes sense, right? If I'm here, okay, but I can scroll up to the preset, and then I can go back to here. So here's Looks like a Leon Todd preset of his post effects. Leon is on my podcast this next episode, as I mentioned before. And let's make this into effects mode. This is my capture by itself, edge of breakup sound. Hear what this delay sounds like. Ooh, we got some cool stuff happening there. Hit this multi-tap also. Okay, a lot of cool stuff. The effects are just so clean and clear. Really nice stuff. What else can we get out of here? That's the end of the presets. Let's go to 80s comped effects. Yep, these are all posts. Great. Just fun to just mess with this stuff. Let's take the flange off. Let's go back to some more gain. And then if I wanted to go to this compressor and see what's going on under the hood, I can just go check it out. If I want my advanced parameters, I can go to expert. Yeah, here's what's going on in the compressor, and they'll show you actually on these graphs what's going on. That's a good question. Is there a way to reorder effects? I don't think I see that on here, do I? Yeah, so I'll have to check the manual. Again, I wanted to do kind of like a first impressions thing here. There's got to be a way that we could reorder this, right? There just has to be. This one was cool. This is a baritone, so this could go into the front end of an amp, but it actually works pretty well in my context after my amp. And so if I go to my effects, I want to turn that compressor off. rotary scenes. Fractal's rotary stuff's awesome. So I decided to set up my basement through my KHE amp switcher. Life gets easy switching through there. So I'm going through my 63 basement to my SIR reactive load IR. And now I'm going to be using this as a front end pedal board. Actually, I'm going to tune. How about that? Oh, the tempo's right here too. That's really useful actually. So you double press for the tuner and tempo being right there. That's actually really nice to know. Okay, so let's check out as a front end. This is my bypass sound. I don't believe in clean sounds. This will be clean in a track. Here we go, country living. Nice spring. So there, I just changed this to be a Noble's ODR1, which is my choice of overdrive. Back to preset mode. There's got to be an easier way for me to do that, I know, but... No, this is Andy Wood's telly sound, but this is a 345. It's a little bit telly-like. So now I've got to go into here. For my rate, I want this to go into tempo. There we go. Now let's say I want to turn this into a drive pedal. I'm going to enter that. Let's go to the Jan Ray. Let's try that out. Turn the tremolo off. All right, so I think that does it for this first overview, checking out what this thing can do, what it sounds like. Put it post Nano Cortex, then I put it pre into my 63 Bassman real tube amp. This is a pretty sweet unit. I gotta say, so far I really like it. As I dive deeper into it, I'm sure I'll discover some quirks, have some requests, but I definitely think that we need user defaults or favorites. But yeah, it's a great unit. I'm really excited about it. Let me know what you want to see in the future. If you made it this far, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.